When we set up a bottom board, you want it so that it's nice and stable, it's not rocking, and you want the bottom board facing downhill, so if it rains here, the water doesn't come back into the hive. Bees in the future, you should check and ask the seller to make sure they've had a bee inspection and a bee permit to sell. Okay. And it says colonies in good condition. It was inspected, look for the inspection date, it says May 14th, 2020. And it says 0 mites.
And who inspected that?
This is David McDonald. He is our local bee inspector. Yeah.
How do you contact with him?
You can phone him. It's through the Ministry of Apiculture. So he's responsible for bee health in this area.
That's okay.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so we're just going to hive this nucleus hive into this beehive. This one is a little different. It's not a 10-frame hive. It is an 8-frame hive. So usually you want to have one more frame out so that the 4 frames will fit inside. And although I can open the hive without putting a mask on, I usually recommend putting on a mask because you never know when one bee might get upset or squished or something like that. So usually to protect your face anyways.
And you don't need to smoke them to calm them down?
So when they smell smoke, they think forest fire, and they put their heads in the honey to gorge themselves in honey.
Right.
And so you're disrupting them too. So they do that, they put their heads down and they don't bother you as much. So if you over smoke them, that doesn't help either, right? So you hive them. The key thing about beekeeping is to move as slow as possible. Not as slow as possible, but slowly.
And gently.
And gently. Not to upset them. Yep. Let's put these guys over here. I'm just gonna. Okay. And we had a friend who was watching us play with the bees, and then she's pointing. She's all excited she could see a queen or a drone or something, like something a different size. Mm-hmm. So she waved her hand over the hive, and a bee immediately flew up and stung her in the eyeball. Like on the eyelid, yeah.
Ouch.
So yeah, and so usually you don't want to wave. And she had a black hat on, which didn't help either.
Oh, there's a queen. Right
Saw the queen right away?
Oh, yeah.
Where? Oh, right there.
We marked queen, so it's easy to see.
Yep. She's a little bit lighter, so she's probably part Italian. And in here too, she's been laying. You can see there's larvae in here, which you probably won't see from the camera. But there's larvae and eggs all the way through here. So she's on this outside frame. She's probably got stuff laid on the inside as well. Yeah, this is all larvae.
So is that is larva and it's not capped yet?
That's right. Yeah, there should be capped in here, otherwise we wouldn't have flagged it for sale. So the next frame may have some more. It's a little bit cooler today, so they won't be as happy as they would be on a normal day, but so far they're okay. I'll let you know if the sound changes. Usually you can tell if their sound changes, but they're still happy. They're just going, whoa, wait a second, what's going on? So on here, you can see there's quite a bit of brood. This right here is honey in the top portion. This right here is all capped brood. I can't remember the exact number is, but with that kind of space, like maybe 3,000 bees are coming out of there pretty soon. And right now you probably have about 4,500 bees. And with this hatch, you're just one frame right here, you'll probably double your population right there with this one.
And is it important the order that you are transferring the nuke frames into the hive box?
It's better not to shuffle the frames. It's better that they go in the same way as they came out. The bees have shaped the wax from one frame to the next in a certain order, and they walk back and forth. So to avoid them having to reshape the wax, or even the queen not knowing where she laid last. Oh wow, this has got lots of brood.
Yes.
So this is all brood. On this side, you can see this is capped honey, and this right here is pollen. And this right here is all capped brood. And these are pretty much all workers too. I do not see, oh, here's a drone right here. A little different size and shape. You can actually pick these guys up. They don't even sting, these guys.
Huh.
That's a drone. And see his butt shape is different?
Different color too.
Yeah, he just mates with the queen, or a queen, or tries to. They don't serve, they serve a purpose in the hive to, they stay and they sit on the eggs, and they're quite a bit bigger, so they're pretty good at heating eggs, so they're not totally useless, but they're not as useful as the worker bees, who have many different roles in the hive. I'm gonna go to this last one. There's still a few bees on the wall over here. Over here, just looking inside. Usually don't want to blow on your bees too much, but if I can't see, sometimes I do.
What does blowing do?
Yeah, they will basically, they'll move away. You can see that these guys right here have their bums in they're cleaning out the cells, and over here, or feeding larvae. These guys are, I noticed there's little eggs in there too. So she's already laid up this one, so you got 4 frames of brood basically. When you first get oh wow, you got food here too. This is all food, which is good, you got food. So this is actually pretty good nuke. Okay, so they're a little more upset. They're just trying to figure out what's going on here too. I'm gonna probably bang them off, which means they're gonna start to jump around a little bit.
Are there bees left in there?
Yeah, so I'm gonna bang them off. So there'll be a few flying, so they probably won't get too upset, but, and this has dirt on it, so I'm gonna wipe this off so it doesn't end up in the hive. Okay, shake them down. Get out this time. So this frame right here looks like it's been built on before.
Yes, I kept that from my old existing hive,
yeah,
because I thought the less work that they need to do as a new hive,
yep,
right? Now they can use that comb.
Yeah, this comb is perfect. So what you want to do is, there's no comb on here. Oh, there's a tiny bit on this one, but you want to make them get started as quick as possible. They can put food stores in there, or they can even put babies in there. They don't have to work as hard to get it going. 1 pound of wax is 7 pounds of honey. It's a lot of work for them to produce. So you want to put that as close as you can to where they are hanging out. So I'm just going to put this in here. On this side too, I'll just do a quick check. Yeah, they're pretty happy here. Usually what they'll do is when they first get here too, oops, they will do an orientation flight. So they're gonna start to fly around and say, hey, wait a second, this is where we were before. This one, the comb is a little bit deeper, and I noticed that there's a little bit of
cobweb on it.
Yeah, it could be cobweb or wax moth. This looks almost like the wax moth likes to eat wax.
Is that dangerous?
No, and the bees are strong enough, they'll clean it up and basically spit it out the front door. Yeah, so it's nice and clean. And these little tabs in the bottom, you can actually knock those out, and it enables the bees to go through a little quicker. But it's really a choice of the beekeeper, like where they feel comfortable with. I generally don't let them. I use mostly wax frames, and they chew it out themselves, but they can crawl around the bottom too.
So, speaking about wax frames,
yep,
these are plastic frames, and you
yep.
are saying you use natural frames, natural wax?
Yeah. So wax, they have different advantages. The plastic frames, if there's ever any concern, you can basically just wash them all up, clean them off, or melt them down, or else just throw them out in the garbage and start again, right? The nice thing about the wax frames, the natural ones, you can melt them down and it recycles a lot nicer. The reason why I like wax natural frames, especially in the brood box, is because bees talk through wax. They can actually vibrate it, and so when they talk through the wax, when they're vibrating it, it's how they dance. They waggle dance, and I think it's a better communication than through the plastic.
Does it affect the honey production?
I don't know there's any evidence one way or the other, but I do know that wax, for example, if you touch a wax frame in the winter and you touch a plastic frame in the winter, the plastic will feel colder. So I like to have bees on natural frames in the winter because I believe it's warmer for them. Yeah, and even this screen bottom board is metal on the bottom. I prefer to have solid bottom boards because although venting is important, the metal is a little bit colder. There's not lots of metal, but